This girl comes to the vegetable seller and asks for vegetables. Then the vegetable seller packs her vegetables and gives them to her. When the girl is about to leave, the vegetable seller stops her and says, "Give the money." Then the girl says, "Forget the money, don't you know me? My mother is in the police. If I want, I can get this stall removed." Then the vegetable seller looks at her husband. Then the girl says, "What are you looking at? If you ask for money, I will have both of you locked inside. From today, don't ever dare to ask me for money again." Saying this, she left. Then her husband signals the vegetable seller to stay calm. After a little while, the girl's mother comes and asks for vegetables. Then the boy gives her vegetables. Then the woman asks him, "How much money?" The boy gets nervous and starts looking at his wife and then says, "We don't want money from you." Then the woman says, "Do you bring vegetables for free? From where do you bring them? Tell me, I will also bring from there." Then the boy says, "You are big people. If we take money from you, then it will be bad for us." Then the woman says, "What happened? Tell me, I am a police officer. I will help you." Then the boy says, "I didn't want to say, but a little while ago your daughter came to the vegetable stall and went away without giving money. And when we asks for money, she threatened that my mother is in the police. If we ask for money, then she will get our vegetable stall removed. That's why I was scared to ask you for money. If you don't give the money, it's okay, but please don't get our stall removed. I am requesting you." Then the woman says, "I didn't know my daughter would do such a disgusting act. You people don't need to be afraid. I became a police officer to serve people, not to scare them. Next time, if my daughter comes here, do as I say." Then she explains the plan to the vegetable seller, and after giving her vegetable share, she goes away. Next day, the girl again comes and asks to pack 3 kilograms of potatoes. The vegetable seller packs 3 kilograms of potatoes and gives her. Then the girl is about to go, but this time the vegetable seller stops her and says, "This time we need money." Then the girl says, "Did you forget yesterday? I am a police officer's daughter. I will get your stall removed in 2 minutes." Then the vegetable seller says, "We don't care whose daughter you are. We need the money for both today's and yesterday's vegetables." Then the girl says, "You people won't agree like this," and is about to throw the vegetables at them. Just then her mother comes and slaps her. Then the girl asks, "Mother, why did you hit me?" Then the woman says, "What are you doing with poor people? Don't you have any shame? I am a police officer to serve people, not to trouble them. Because you're a police officer's daughter, you bully poor people and walk away without paying. We're the cops who arrest people who mistreat others. Yet you're the one doing the mistreating. Quickly apologize to them, and whatever you owe, give it right now." Then the girl asks, "How much do I have to give?" Then the vegetable seller says, $200. Then the girl gives him $200. Then the woman says, "Apologize also." Then the girl apologizes to them. Then she angrily took her daughter with her. Did the woman do right with her daughter? If yes, then like and subscribe to let us know. The guard goes near the old man and says, "Get out from here." Then the old man takes out a paper and says, "Can you tell me this address?" The guard looks at the address, gets angry and says, "There is no such address here. Get out from here." Then the old man says, No, son, my son gave me this address, and my son is the owner of this hotel." Then the guard says, "Old man, have you gone crazy? Get out first." Then the girl says, "Don't you have manners to talk with elders? He only asked the address." Then the guard says, "Don't interrupt in between." Then the girl says, "Don't forget, my brother is the owner here." Then the old man also says, "Yes, if my son comes to know, he will not spare you." Then the guard says, "What is your son's name?" The old man says, "Aiden." Then the guard says, "The owner's name is Mark, and if you waste my time again, then my stick will speak." The old man gets scared and says, "Don't scare me. My son called me from the village here because my daughter has to get married." Then the guard says, "You came to take money for marriage?" The old man says, "Yes." Then the guard says, "Even without money, her marriage can happen." The old man asks, "How?" The guard says, "Get your daughter married to me." Then the old man says, "Let my son come, then I'll show you." The guard says, "What can you even do?" Then the girl says, "Don't you have mother and sister at your home?" The guard says, "I have mother and sister, but I don't have wife. So can you marry me?" The old man says, "You are doing wrong." Then the guard starts threatening, "Now you will tell me if I am doing right or wrong. The owner of this hotel considers me like younger brother. If he finds out that you refuse to marry your daughter to me, then he won't spare the two of you." Then the girl says to her father, "Let's go from here." And both start going. Then the guard misbehaves with them. Then the hotel owner comes and slaps the guard. The guard says, "Sir, I was helping them." The boy says, "You call this helping? He is of your father's age and you are scaring him?" Then the guard says, "I was only telling the address." The boy says, "Just shut up." The guard says, "They were sitting outside the hotel. That's why I was telling them to leave." The boy says, "So what if they were sitting? What was wrong in that?" Then the boy asks the old man, "What happened?" The old man says, "My son is the owner of this hotel. He gave me this address." The boy looks at the address and says, "This address does not exist." The old man says, "But my son gave me this address only. There is also a number. Can you try calling on it?" Then the boy calls on that number, but the phone is switched off. The boy asks, "Was this address given by your son?" The girl says, "Yes, my brother gave this address. Why would he give wrong?" Then the boy says to the old man, "You should have informed your son before coming." The old man says, "My son gave me this number and address and told us that whenever we wanted to come, we should come without asking. That's why we came here without informing him. How were we supposed to know that he would deceive us? Now what will I do? And from where will I bring money for my daughter's marriage?" Then the boy says, "Until your son is found, stay in my hotel." The old man says, "We don't want to become burden on you." Then the guard says, "Let them go. Why are you taking trouble on your head?" The boy tells the guard, "Keep quiet," and says to the old man, "You both can stay here for some days. Until then I will arrange some money for your daughter's marriage." Did the boy do the right thing by helping them? If yes, then like and subscribe to let us know.
Believe me, this site is nothing short of magical. In Thailand, when there's no flat land available, farmers carve the mountains into step-like fields. As soon as the rains arrive, these fields fill with water, and rice saplings are planted. Within just a few weeks, the mountains begin to ripple like green carpets. This technique not only keeps the hills alive, but also feeds hundreds of families. When the crop is ready, it's time for the harvest. The rice is separated from the husk.
The peon offers the girl some water, then looks at her carefully and says, "Daughter, you're here?" The girl is surprised and says, "Dad, what are you doing here?" The man replies, "I work here, that's my job." The girl, a bit upset, says, "Why didn't you ever tell me?" The man answers calmly, "What's there to tell in this?" Then asks, "And what are you doing here?" The girl replies, "I came here to give an interview at the same company where you serve water." The father smiles. "That's a very good thing." The girl snaps back, "Good thing? Not at all. If the manager finds out that I'm the daughter of a peon, what respect will I have left? Other employees will laugh at me, and I'll surely lose this job." The man says gently, "The manager, ma'am, is very kind. If you want, I can even talk to her." The girl quickly interrupts, "No, no. If you tell her I'm your daughter, she'll definitely reject me. Just promise me one thing. Please don't tell anyone that I'm your daughter." The father sighs and says, "All right, dear," and walks away. Just then, the manager arrives. The girl hands her CV. The manager looks at it and says, "Your qualifications are excellent, but before giving you the job, I'd like to ask you a few questions." The girl nods. "Sure, go ahead." The manager asks, "How many people are there in your family?" The girl replies, "Just me and my father." The manager continues, "What does your father do?" The girl, trying to hide the truth, says, "He is a manager in a big company." The manager then asks, "If your father is such a big manager, why did you choose to apply here?" The girl replies, "Because if I had joined my father's company, people would have said I got the job because of him. I wanted to prove myself and get a good job on my own. That's why I applied here." The manager nods and asks, "Then you must be very proud of your father's work?" The girl says with confidence, "Of course, I'm very proud." The manager looks at her seriously and says, "I'm sorry, but I cannot give you this job." Shocked, the girl says, "But you just said I'm qualified. Then why are you rejecting me?" The manager replies firmly, "I'm not rejecting you because of your qualifications, but because of your mindset. When you are arguing with your father and telling him that don't tell anyone that I am your daughter, I overheard everything. We hire people based on their ability, not their family background. Your father may be a peon, but with that job he worked hard to educate you. And today, because of his sacrifice, you're sitting here for this interview. And now, instead of respecting his work, you're ashamed of it?" At that very moment, her father enters nervously and says, "Madam, I'm sorry for coming in without permission, but my daughter is very educated and capable. I've worked hard all my life so she can study. Today she is capable of doing any great job. Please don't reject her just because of me." The manager turns to the girl and says, "Look at your father. He is fighting for you so you can have a future. And you feel ashamed of the very work that raised you? First, apologize to him." Tears roll down the girl's eyes. She turns to her father and says, "Dad, please forgive me. I forgot that it's only because of your hard work and sacrifices that I was able to study and sit here today. I'm sorry. I'll never be ashamed of you again." Did the father do the right thing for his daughter? If yes, then like and subscribe. This girl gives her maid the salary and says, "I'm giving you this month's salary in advance. Later, don't say I didn't pay you." The maid replies, "Okay, ma'am." Then the girl says, "Count the money once." The maid says, "I'm not educated, so I don't know how to count. You've given it, so I trust it's correct." The girl says, "You didn't know how to count?" The maid says, "No." So the girl says, "Then give it to me once, I will count. What if my husband gave you extra by mistake? Then later he'll blame me." The maid says, "Yes, ma'am, you can count it once." Then the girl starts counting and says, "My husband gave you $1,000 extra. If I hadn't checked, he would have gotten angry at me later." The maid says, "Good thing you counted, ma'am. Otherwise, I would have taken more money by mistake." And then she says, "I've finished all my work. I am leaving now." As she's leaving, the girl's husband comes and asks, "Where are you going with that money?" The maid says, "Ma'am just gave me my salary." The man says, "This looks like less money." The maid says, "No, no, ma'am counted it and gave me." You had given $1,000 extra, and she took it back. Then the man says, give me the money. I'll count it. He counts and says, this is $1,000 short. The maid says, no ma'am, counted it properly. The man says, looks like my wife took the money herself, and starts calling her. He asks her, why did you give her $1,000 less? The girl says, I gave her the full amount. Maybe she dropped it somewhere or hid it. The maid says, ma'am, you yourself took that $1,000 back, saying your husband gave extra. The girl says, she's lying. When did I take the money? She just wants to create fights between us and get more money. The maid says, if I'm lying, then keep this salary too. I'm quitting this job. She starts to leave, but the man stops her and says, she's been working here for 15 years and I trust her, she can't lie. What's going on with you that you had to take money from this poor maid? She uses this money to educate her kids and run her home. What was so urgent that you had to steal from her? The girl, now angry, says, ever since you left your old job and joined the new one, you are giving 50% less money at home. And I have expenses, like my makeup, clothes, outings, and now even the kids' school fees. Where will I get all that money from? That's why I took her money. The man says, I never thought you would do this to her. If I had known, I would have given her money myself. Now return that $1,000. The girl quietly takes out the $1,000. But the maid says, I was doing this job so my child could study in a good school and have a better life than mine. That's why I work so hard. But from today, I won't be working here anymore. She leaves the job and walks out. Then the man gives the leftover money to the girl and walks away angrily. The girl was having an affair with the servant of the house. Just then, her husband entered and asked, what are you doing here? The girl quickly replied, I was feeling hungry, so I came here to eat some chips. The husband said, but you just had food a while ago. The girl covered up, during pregnancy I feel hungry more often. The husband said, we have to go out, get ready quickly, we're getting late. The girl nodded, yes, just 1 minute, and left with him, and just after she secretly came back and hugged the servant again and whispered, baby, I'll meet you after some time, and went away. The next day the husband called the servant and said, I'm increasing your salary. The servant was surprised and asked, why suddenly? The husband smiled and said, Madam is pregnant. I'll soon become a father and you'll be an uncle. That means your responsibilities will double. You'll have to take care of the baby during the day. That's why your salary needs to be increased. The servant got emotional and said, are you sure you're doing the right thing by trusting me so much? The husband replied, you are not just a servant. You are like my younger brother. Later, while the servant was working, the girl came and tried to hug him. The servant stopped her, saying, this is wrong. The girl asked, what's wrong with you? The servant firmly replied, from today, we have to stop this. Forget whatever happened before. I can't betray sir anymore. The girl argued, he will never find out. The servant said, whether he finds out or not doesn't matter. He treats me like his own brother, and I can't betray him. The girl got angry and says, whatever happened between us happened with both our consent. Now suddenly you can't walk away. Otherwise, I'll get you thrown out of this job. The servant replied, if you try to get me fired, I'll tell sir the whole truth about what's going on between us. The girl got angry and left. The servant then went straight to sir and confessed, sir, I had an affair with madam. The husband got furious and called his wife. When she arrived, he shouted, I never imagined you could do something so low. The wife acted shocked. What happened? The husband roared, behind my back, you had an affair with the servant. The wife quickly twisted the story. You don't trust me at all. This morning he was stealing money from your locker. I caught him, and I told him that once you come home, I will expose him and get him fired. Then he started threatening me that if I told you, he would lie and say I was having an affair with him. The servant says, she's lying. The wife said, if you don't believe me, check his bag. The servant went, brought his bag, and handed it over. Shockingly, money was found inside. The wife smirked. See, I told you he's a thief. The husband turned to the servant angrily. Where did this money come from? The servant swore. Sir, I don't know how this money got here. I swear I'm innocent. The husband yelled, I treated you like a brother and you betrayed me. From today, don't ever show me your face again, and fired him on the spot. Later, a woman who rented a room from them came and gave the husband the rent. She said, Sir, I need to tell you something. This morning, when I was going to the office, I saw your wife secretly talking with the servant. They are having an affair. I thought I should tell you, otherwise your life will be ruined. Hearing this, the husband's world shook. He immediately threw his wife out of the house, saying, From today, never come here again. The wife begged, Please, let's talk and sort this out. Forgive me. But the husband didn't listen to a single word and shut the door on her. Did the husband do the right thing by throwing his wife out of the house? If yes, then like and subscribe to let us know.